I am Alana Sana Casco Rubio, public ally serving with TAC. Today is a memorable and historic day. Inauguration of the new president, Joe Biden, and Vice President Kamala Harris made their swearing to the nation. We wish them all of the best, and our thoughts, our prayers are with them so that they can direct this country in a better direction. I want to remind you that all of our programs, previous programs, are available in English and in Spanish, which you can see on our platforms, YouTube and Facebook. Today we have Marisol in production and in the comments. As you can see, today I'm not using my mask because I'm working from home, just like the rest of our team. But we are still here for you guys. You can call us 414-672-8090. Sorry, 414-672-8090. Got it. Or email sock@sockmilwaukee.org. And you can find all of this in the comments as well. So please leave us your thoughts. The link to the survey is in the comments. I also want to remind you that the points of view and the opinions are not necessarily those of SOC. And finally, we would love to know who is with us. Please give us a like or a comment about the program. We're going to check and see what's coming up the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Claire Evers is the interim director of environmental health for the health department of the city of Milwaukee. She is a guest on our show that has been here a few different times, and we always appreciate her presence. Her interview will be with Marlene. And then we're also going to bring somebody, I'm not sure of the name, but they're going to present somebody from the Public Works Department from the city of Milwaukee. So now we're going to go to our segment, our interview with Eduardo Galvan. He is the regional superintendent for the Milwaukee Public Schools. So let's bring on Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Okay, well, I don't think Eduardo is here with us at this exact moment. Let me see. Okay, now we got him. Perfect. Hey, Eduardo. Good afternoon. Sorry, I think the signal isn't the greatest, so I'm sorry if I lose you again. Don't worry. We can hear you just fine. Can you explain to me a little bit more about your position with MPS and, the different things that you are in charge of? Of course. Well, I am Eduardo Galvan. I am the regional superintendent of the Southeast region. So in the district of Milwaukee Public Schools, there are 6 regions. I am, like I said, am in charge of the Southeast region, which is 25 schools. Majority of these are bilingual schools. So they offer, English, Spanish, and different languages. So my job is to support those schools, their principals and the other folks that are at the schools so that they can be, successful and move on. I help at a district level so that schools can implement different things so that students are successful. Before that, I was the principal at View School, a bilingual school on the South Side National, for about 10 years. So I have 30-ish years working for Milwaukee Public Schools. So can you tell us a little bit more about the capacity that you guys have at MPS, talking about bilingual personnel? Knowing that there's such a big need for bilingual personnel, like how many, or can you come up with a number of how many people can communicate in both languages? I'm sorry, I didn't hear all of the question, but I think I heard most of it. In the district, we always offer, not just in Spanish, also other languages. So specifically bilingual schools, the bilingual program is so great. I love being able to say that we offer it at MPS. And it's about, at bilingual schools, like for example, there's classrooms where students come from countries where they speak Spanish. So first they learn in their language, the language at home, Spanish. But that doesn't mean they don't learn English. I think sometimes people get confused and they think, if they're in a bilingual program, they don't learn English. No, it's the opposite. What information has showed us, data has showed us, is that students that learn in both languages are actually more successful, usually on, state tests, and in their development is better than a student who only speaks one language. So in those schools, there are always teachers and services, not just, the basic teacher in the classroom, also special education, art, music, all those kinds of things can be provided in Spanish. Also, services for parents. It's super important for parents to be able to participate in the education of their children. So we're very proud to be able to say that we do have bilingual services. It's very important here. Sometimes you feel like you need to leave your Spanish. Lots of parents, like I said, have gotten confused, thinking that coming into a bilingual program, it's hurting the kids. But it's actually the opposite. I think that you can also say that, in lots of countries, they speak more than one languages, and it's so beautiful to be able to do that. And then to be able to retain the culture and be able to communicate between your family and be proud of your country. And then, also knowing where you're coming from too. Can you talk to me a little bit more about, what grades do you offer these bilingual services for? Is it just high school, or what schools is it offered at? Well, bilingual services are offered at all schools, from kindergarten all the way up to high school. So when you come in, right now, we're going to start, registering kindergartners on February 6th and 20th. We're going to have a virtual inscription fair, a registration fair, and there will be lots of information throughout the city. Hopefully you can see it. And if you're interested, the 6th and the 20th of February, there will be a virtual event all the way from kindergarten, 3 years old. Kids can get signed up and you'll get those services. Depending on when a student comes, and then we have to make sure that the kids are good in both languages, English or Spanish. Sometimes when they're, a little older, we can offer other services, English as a second language, all the way up to high school. So maybe I didn't ask it well, but my primary question, what I wanted to know is if you guys also give bilingual classes at the schools in MPS. You're saying that all of the resources are available in general, but I was asking like classes. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the entire question. The services that we offer at schools, like for example, for parents that don't speak English, we offer those services, that information in Spanish and in other languages as well. In a bilingual classroom, so talking about kindergarten, 90% would be in Spanish. So then the other percent in English. So then that changes little by little until the majority is in English, but we're never leaving out the Spanish. So at a high school level, for kids that are not bilingual, we also offer different language classes. Spanish, French, German, depends on, the preference or the interest that the student has. So those students are those services are also available for parents. And I'm sorry if that wasn't the question. It got cut off a little bit. No, that's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. We can keep going. I do have a question about the services that you guys provide during the pandemic. I wanted to know, somebody in the audience has also asked, what are the services that you guys are offering right now? Because kids aren't at school and, maybe they get behind, or if they need extra help. Well, thank you so much for that question. Obviously, we're in very different times right now with the pandemic. Since we started the year, we have offered every student a computer, a Chromebook actually, and then that way they can keep learning virtually. So every school from kindergarten all the way up to kindergarten has had virtual classes. And we're going to continue offering those. If anybody has a problem, with internet, we offer hotspots to the families. All of that can be found on MPS's page. And so I know it's not normal because it's not face-to-face, because every school is doing things a little differently. They have help for, parents, different virtual meetings to be able to help. There's also different videos. You can also find MPS's homepage in Spanish as well. Speaking on the virtual model in general, we do have large groups, like the whole classroom gets together with a teacher, but then there's also opportunities for them to get together in small groups. Also, the helpers or assistants help go over different materials. We're talking about, Bayed, art, music. So the teachers do have access to the students. Also, if you're getting special education, there are different virtual groups where you can help the kids in their individual education plan or IEP. So all of that is offered. It's not the same as being in person. but we have been able to keep moving forward to help the students. So at any time, if you need more, just call directly to the school, talk to the teacher or the principal. And if anything continues, you can always call central office. So the public school system, are they doing something extra for kids that, or, you had said if they need something else, they can call. So if you see that somebody's, really far behind or they need any more resources, are you doing any outreach or? Yes. So what we have done and what we've always done, if we see a student that's falling behind, we always try to offer, interventions depending on their age. And the world that we're in right now, we also know sometimes kids need, a book or a certain material, because all of the schools are offering those opportunities where the parents can go and pick up their materials. So different hands-on things that you might need are still available. We also have sites, more than 50 sites across the city where families can go and pick up foods. Also, we do material packets, work, art. Some kids just work better with paper than the computer. And we do provide all of that. Obviously, we have to keep safety and health of the families and the students and the teachers in mind. So we always have that in the back of our mind. And obviously, we're not in person because of that. Of course. Thank you so much. Can you tell us, uh, can you just tell us a little bit more about the decisions that were made from March of last year and how you guys came to the decision of, closing the schools? How did you guys get to those decisions? If you could talk to us a little bit about that? Of course. Um, Obviously, we always have to put the children's security, the student security at the front. That is the decision that we had to make to close the schools was because of that. As I said that, we do have classes and the option to keep giving classes over the internet. That was not a decision that was made just by MPS. We've always had to look at a state level, a national level. Also, talking to people at the health department, at the hospitals. And always we have to be, on top of how things are going with the pandemic. Right now, we're virtual and we gotta stay that way until it's sure and safe from a health aspect for everybody that is being affected. Not just the students, but also the families, the teachers, the families of the teachers. We want to be in a position where we can be sure that everybody is in a situation where we're in a healthy place. So that's why the decision was made to close the schools physically, but the services are still continuing in a virtual way. So now, just so that we have an idea about what we're talking about previously, I would like to know a little bit more about the number of students, those Spanish speaking ones. How many do you serve? Just to have an idea, because there are lots of people still at home. Well, at a district level, there's about 55,000 students. So it depends on how those students identify themselves. More or less, there's about 12,000 students, but that does not include, all the ones that speak other languages, that speak other languages as well. And there are other families, that don't want those services. Or, for different personal reasons, they've decided they don't, want those services. And that's okay too. If they live here and they're not in a bilingual program, and they don't want to be. I don't know if that answered your question. Yeah, I wanted to know like a number, like approximately how many students. You said about 12,000 students is about, that's like the population of a small town. Yeah, a lot of the families, when they select Milwaukee Public Schools, we know that the reason is because they know that we offer so many services that are bilingual that aren't offered at other schools in Milwaukee and in the area. So we do have different models. Bilingual, there's immersion. Maybe a family wants to learn French or German, and then there's Spanish too. So that includes people that only speak English. They want to go to a school where they'll learn a different language. Very good. I want to leave space in case you have anything else that you would like to say or anything else. Well, thank you so much for the invitation. If parents have any questions, please just ask at the schools. If you're asking, you at school and you're not getting an answer, you can come to central office or go to Milwaukee Public Schools website. So then you can see, all the different options. There's 7 different languages that the information is available in. And those are already at MPS. Thank you so much for already being with us. And there are different programs available, so let us know what it is that you need, and we can also help, and then you guys let us know how we can help you. We're coming up. There's going to be registration for kindergarten, for kindergarten for kindergarten for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, but also for all ages. High school, everything else. So if you're looking for a school, don't forget to look at Milwaukee Public Schools. Thank you so much, Superintendent. It's been great having you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Superintendent Galvan. Thank you to everybody that participated in the interview. And now we are going to say hi to everybody that's commented. Maria says hello. Thank you for saying hi to Mr. Galvan. Maria de Jesus. Thank you so much for tuning in. Maria de Jesus, we always are happy to see you. You're one of our viewers that's constantly supporting us. Thank you so much. And I think that's all for now. So now we're going to have an update on COVID. I'm Dr. Fortuna from 16th Street Clinic. And today I have some suggestions to protect your family if somebody in your home is sick from coronavirus. First, wear your mask. That is the most important thing that you can do to prevent passing the virus to other people. Number two, if you can, try to keep yourself in a room, or the person that's sick in a separate room. When they're in their room by themselves, they can take off their mask. But when they go out, they should put their mask on again and wash their hands. Also, if they use or touch things that other people use, disinfect all areas that are shared or common. Also, number three, if you need to help children or to cook for other people, it is okay. Wear your mask, wash your hands, very good. And that reduces the risk of passing coronavirus onto other people. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helps to protect your family. Oh, the sun is super strong right now. I'm just happy there's sun. So we're going to keep going with the update from Gabe. Civic update. Well, folks, we finally came up to Inauguration Day. It doesn't matter which political party you support. We have gone through so much as a country from Election Day in November up till today. So this moment is a new chapter, marks a new chapter. And I think there are a lot of people that are ready and excited for this new chapter. But at the same time, we can't forget that there's a lot of work ahead of us to keep fighting for equity and justice. And then I'm going to leave you guys with a video that shows the moment when Mr. Biden is taking the swearing in to be the president. Así, this is the swearing in of Joe Biden. Awesome. Thank you so much for that video, Gabe. It's so great that we're following up with this transition of power and the democracy that is the United States. I think that we're at the end of the show. I don't have another interview today. They canceled at the last minute. But I hope that most of you guys keep tuning in, watching the inauguration. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a reminder of what's coming up the rest of the week. Tomorrow, Thursday, interim commissioner from the health department, Claire Evers. And like I mentioned earlier, Claire is one of our regular guests. She always brings such great information. And Marlene is going to do that interview. Then on Wednesday, we're going to have somebody from the operations department, from the public works department. I want to remind you that we are in solidarity with all of the protesters that are fighting for social justice, civil rights, and people of color. Also, our thoughts and prayers are with all of the families that have been affected by COVID-19. We are still in a pandemic, so we are in solidarity with all of those families. We will see you in the next episode, and thank you so much. Lead is a natural element that is found in the Earth's crust. Historically, lead has been used in a variety of uses in home, paint, pipes, and plumbing materials. But now we know that lead can be dangerous to people, especially small children. Lead is not used in paint anymore. It's actually illegal. But all homes built before 1978 likely contain some lead-based paint. This is a huge problem because the peeling, chipping, and cracking paint turn into little pieces of paint, and they can add lead to the soil outside of your home. Lots of people don't even see it, but the peeling and cracking paint is the #1 cause of lead poisoning in small children. And then what about the water? The water in the city of Milwaukee does not contain lead when it comes out of the water treatment site. However, houses that were built before 1951, it's probable that they have service lines made of lead. Those take the water from the principal service line to the house. Inside the house, there can also be lead pipes. And pipe can also be found in many plumbing fixtures and solder. Solder is what is used to stick the pipes together. When water sits in these pipes for hours, the lead can be released into the water. So what can you do? It's very easy. Protect your family against lead using 3 easy steps. #1, clean up dust, paint chips, and flaking paint inside and outside of your house using a wet rag that you throw away afterwards. Inside your home, clean the windowsills, the floor, and children's toys. Just a little bit of dust can cause high lead levels in a small child. Outside of your home, cover bare soil. If you're going to be taking off paint, talk to a professional about how to safely remove lead paint. Also, make sure little kids wash their hands before eating. It'll take off grime, dirt, and lead. #2, if you live in a house with a lead service line, there are some simple steps you can take to help reduce the risk for children. If you haven't used your water for a few hours, let it run for at least 3 minutes until it's nice and cold. That will bring fresh water through the pipes. Just drink and cook with cold water from the tap, especially when you're preparing baby bottles. It's very important for families that live in homes with lead service lines. If you're a pregnant woman, if you're a breastfeeding woman, or if you're have a child under 6 years of age, to use a water filtration system certified to remove lead. #3, consult your family doctor so that they can do a lead level test on your children. Of course, small children are the most affected. It is important to do this test 3 times before they turn 3 years old. To know more about how to keep your family safe from lead, visit leadsafemke.com. Safe paint, safe water, safe kids. Has this forum been helpful for you? What part of the forum can we improve or change? Let us know responding to a brief survey. The link is found in the comment section so we can keep the program going for residents. And thank you for tuning in.